This presentation accompanies Report 6 from PrePARED, which examines the environmental similarities between prepared study sites and offshore wind farms across the UK seascape. Our analysis provides context how the findings from PrePARED might be applicable to other offshore wind farms. This study addressed two key questions. Firstly, can findings from prepared sites be applied to other wind farm locations? And secondly, which areas might serve as reference sites for future studies? To answer these, we conducted a biogeographical analysis examining multiple environmental factors at both the Moray Firth and Firth of Forth prepared study sites, here highlighted in blue on the map. Our analysis is based on a comprehensive database of 96 UK offshore wind farms. This includes 36 operational sites and 60 future developments, including those under construction and planned. We gathered detailed information about each wind farm's location, age, foundation type, and operational status. The database also incorporates ScotWind and INTOG leasing sites, but excludes Round 5 leasing areas and non-UK developments. To investigate the environmental similarities, we used 6 key environmental variables. 3 of these were static: seabed substrate, seabed slope, and mean spring tide current speed. The other 3 had a seasonal aspect: salinity, sea bottom temperature, and vertical stratification. Whilst we initially considered depth and distance to coast as variables, these were removed due to strong correlation with other variables. To conduct our similarity assessment, we first needed to process the environmental data into a comparable format. We created a grid of 12.5 by 12.5 kilometre cells covering the UK seascape and beyond. This cell size was determined by the course's resolution amongst our environmental datasets. For each cell, we extracted the values from our environmental layers, and in cases where multiple values fell within a single cell, we calculated the mean value. This process was repeated for all 6 environmental variables and for all 4 seasons. Compare the mean environmental values in the cells to our study sites, whose values have also been meaned. We use the ArcGIS similarity search tool. This tool compares the environmental values of each grid cell to those of our study site. The comparison generates a similarity score ranging from 1 to -1. Our score of 1 indicates perfect similarity with our study site, whilst -1 shows perfect dissimilarity. To aid interpretation, we used a colour scheme where darker blues indicate higher similarity and darker oranges show greater dissimilarity. This allowed us to visualise how environmental conditions compare across the entire study area. Here we have the results from the similarity search of the Moray Firth. We have produced 4 maps which show the similarity scores for each season. The red polygon indicates our Moray Firth study site, while the pink polygons show the location of the wind farms from our database. Looking at the Moray Firth results, we see distinct seasonal patterns. In winter and spring, high similarity, shown by the darker blues, extends across most of the North Sea. There is particularly strong similarity between the UK, Danish, and Norwegian waters, highlighted by the black box. During these seasons, we also see notable dissimilar conditions in the Irish Sea and southern England, indicated by the orange colouring. The pattern shifts in summer and autumn. While some of the high similarity areas in the North Sea reduces, strong similarity still persists around Scotland and the central North Sea. Interestingly, we see increased similarity in northern Scottish and southwest English waters during these seasons. There is a more variable pattern across the region compared to winter and spring. To understand persistent patterns throughout the year, we created a composite map showing areas with consistent high similarity. In this map, the colours indicate how many seasons a cell maintained a similarity score above 0.6. Dark green areas showed high similarity across all 4 seasons, light green for 3 seasons, yellow for 2 seasons, and brown indicating high similarity in just 1 season. This approach helps us identify the most consistently similar regions across the year. From this analysis, two key areas emerge with year-round high similarity: much of the east coast of Scotland and also the central North Sea, particularly the Dogger Bank region. There is also, with northern Scotland showing high similarity for 3 seasons, while the southwest of England and large areas of the North Sea display high similarity in 2 seasons and 1 season. Here we have a bar plot showing similarity scores for individual wind farms compared to the Moray Firth. The y-axis shows the similarity score, ranging from -1 to 1, while the x-axis lists each wind farm from our database. Each bar represents a wind farm's median similarity score, with error bars showing the seasonal variation. The black dashed line indicates the overall median similarity score across all wind farms. In the top plot, wind farms are coloured by operational status, while the bottom plot shows the same data but coloured by foundation type instead. The red arrows show the location of the Firth of Forth study site wind farms. Looking at how our wind farms compare to the Moray Firth study sites, we found a pronounced trend in operational status. Future planned wind farms consistently show higher similarities compared to the operational studies. This is partially explained by many of the future developments being planned for the north and east coast of Scotland, areas naturally similar to the Moray Firth. However, this pattern extends beyond just geographic proximity, as we see high similarity scores in areas like the Dogger Bank wind farms. When examining foundation type, we found no significant relationship between foundation choice and the Moray Firth study sites. Here we have the maps of the Firth of Forth similarity search. For the Firth of Forth sites, we observed somewhat different patterns. During winter and spring, high similarity extends along the east coast of Scotland and the northeast of England, with particularly strong similarity in the immediate eastern UK coastal waters. The outer North Sea shows moderate similarity during these seasons. Summer and autumn reveals a more complex pattern. Whilst high similarity remains along the Scottish east coast, we see the similarity pattern become more concentrated on the east coast of England. High similarity does expand though to parts of the Irish Sea and west coast of Scotland. This creates a more varied similarity pattern compared to the winter and spring seasons. Similarly, for the Firth of Forth analysis, we created the year-round similarity map using the same colour scheme: dark green for 4 seasons of high similarity through to brown for 1 season. This visualization reveals a strong year-round similarity immediately off the Scottish east coast and a smaller but persistent area of high similarity off the central England east coast. Other areas of interest are northern Scotland, eastern England, and the Irish Sea, showing high similarity for at least 2 seasons of the year. We have the Firth of Forth bar plots, which reveal different patterns. While we still see a trend of future wind farms showing high similarity scores than operational ones, this pattern was found not to be statistically significant. Notably, we found that foundation type plays a significant role here. Wind farms using grounded jacket systems show significantly higher similarity to the Firth of Forth sites compared to other foundation types. In conclusion, our analysis revealed 4 key findings. Firstly, there is consistently high environmental similarity between prepared sites and the Scottish east coast wind farms across all seasons. Second, the Dogger Bank region in the central North Sea showed persistent high similarity to the Moray Firth sites, despite considerable geographic distance. Third, future planned wind farms generally demonstrate high similarity to Moray Firth study site, and wind farms using grounded jacket foundations had high similarity to the Firth of Forth area. This analysis provides evidence that PrePARED's findings can be transferred to future areas of offshore wind, particularly to the east coast of Scotland and North Sea, which is set to host many of these developments. Whilst these findings are promising, several important considerations remain. We don't fully understand how foundation type might influence prey predator assemblages in these environments. The interaction between biogeographical variables and how that drives ecology needs further investigation. And additionally, our current analysis focuses solely on abiotic factors. Looking forward, there are several opportunities to expand this work, which could include adding the European offshore wind farms into future analyses and incorporating the upcoming Round 5 leasing sites. We could also look to include biotic factors alongside our environmental variables, and potentially integrate marine mammal and seabird distribution data.